After 14 years, Lee County Sheriff Mike Scott announced he's retiring. His announcement comes midway into his fourth term as the Lee County Sheriff. 4 in Your Corner's Carl Fortier sat down with Mike Scott today, asking why he's leaving office only 2 years into his 4-year term. Carl?
Well, until a few years ago, Sheriff Scott was very visible in the news, whether he was being interviewed about a crime or one of his election campaigns. But he says family obligations have prompted him to take a step back and take off his badge sooner than he expected.
It's been, it's bittersweet, obviously. I mean, how could you work someplace for 30 years and 14 as sheriff and not have a lot of mixed emotions?
Mike Scott devoted his career to law enforcement in Lee County and says choosing to retire only 2 years into his 4th term as sheriff wasn't an easy decision. But he says his mother-in-law's declining health and his own mother aging gracefully at 90 made him take another look at his priorities.
I certainly anticipated finishing my last term, the full 4 years. But again, circumstances pretty much outside my control dictate otherwise.
Scott says those circumstances have been part of the reason he stepped away from the public eye in recent years after years of high visibility. His undersheriff Carmine Marcino has filled in as the face of the department, and Scott will recommend him to Governor Rick Scott as the interim sheriff.
And there is no question that Carmine Marcino is best equipped and prepared to carry forward the momentum.
I'm humbled by the process and respect the process that I go through at this point with the governor. And I will absolutely be running in 2020.
Scott says he'd like to continue offering Marcino his guidance.
Because I'm not bashful. So if something comes up that I really believe in, I'm going to share it with him. I'd be foolish to sleep on it.
He says he doesn't have future plans outside of his personal obligations, especially not politics.
I'm optimistic, I'm open-minded. If something were to present itself or some opportunity came up, I suppose I would at least consider it, but it wouldn't be to run for office.
Scott's retirement is effective September 24th. That's 2 weeks from today. In Lee County, Carl Fortier, Fox 4, in your corner.